Hopefully the background noise isn't too much. My parents are watching TV in the living room, but I'll try to be fast about this. Here on the left side is the Bitcoin chart that I showed you in the previous video, and here on the right side is the total market cap. So it's all the money in crypto, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, why Bitcoin and Ethereum? Because Bitcoin and Ethereum's markets are really high. They have a ton of money, so that way it doesn't really skew the rest of money that's in crypto. So we have a decent idea of what the rest of the coins are doing in cryptocurrency, generally speaking. So if we just look at the total market cap, I only have information going back as far as July of 2017. So not as much as Bitcoin, but I'll work with what we got. And so let's go ahead and show that this, our first cycle ending or beginning of a cycle, is here in January of 2018. And if we match that up with Bitcoin, January of 2018, here we go, right there, you'll see that's the new cycle of Bitcoin as well. So they coincide. And you see this cycle top right here for Bitcoin, that's November 3rd. And if we look at November 3rd here, it's around there, close enough. So you'll see how Bitcoin pushes the market into certain directions. Now, the other markets will make more than Bitcoin. So if we look here, we'll see that where is it? From this cycle low to the peak for Bitcoin, it's about 1,500%, and cycle low for the altcoin market cap, excluding Ethereum and Bitcoin, was 2,800% or 2,900%. So you see, it's significantly more for the other ones. However, Bitcoin pushes the market. Okay. Now, if we look at the two little cycles we have here, you'll notice that mm, you have this price action here and this price action here. And I drew a line to show a a top, okay? And then we have this downward sloping price action right here. You see that? These top points? And these top points create something called an inverted head and shoulders. And if we do the same thing over here, you see after this point right here, we have a price drop. And we look at the points, we have a left shoulder, we have right shoulder, and then there you go. So it's a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So the reason it's called an inverted head and shoulders is if we have a right-sided head and shoulders, you'll have a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So an inverted head and shoulders would be this. And what does that mean? So mm, when price comes up for a right set up head and shoulders, it'll come up, create this pattern, and on the other side of the pattern, it'll show momentum, strong momentum to the downside. And so if that's true, then the opposite is also true, where you can have inverted head and shoulders, where price comes down into it, and this momentum that is creating will carry the price action upwards. And so here we have a large inverted head and shoulders that lasted roughly 780 days. So that's a lot of momentum to be building up in 530 days on this one. So as you can see, price came down into it and then it ran up from there. Price came down into this inverted head and shoulders, and now we're in the middle of running up. And so what I studied here is what happened after the price came out of that inverted head and shoulders in this area. From this little top, from this slant to this top right here. From this slant to this top right here. What happened there? So we can see that when price broke out of this resistance, so this is what it called. You see how price stopped right there, stopped right there, stopped right there, and it struggled right here. So this line is resistance. When price breaks resistance, normally this resistance will turn into support. So here you can see how price right here, although small, it finally broke through this resistance and came down and tested that line, and it served as what was once resistance into a support, and then we continued up from there. So that's what I circled right there, this little accumulation. And then roughly the same thing happened, although it happened a little bit higher, but we still have that little accumulation. And then we have this price that comes up, and then it's also like a mini inverted head and shoulders. So this is a day chart. If I zoom into, let's say, the 8-hour chart to look at some more detail, if it'll give it to me. It's not giving it to me. Let's try the 12-hour. It's whack sometimes. Sorry about that. I guess the 1-day chart. Yeah. Anyway, I can break this little shape down even further, but we'll just say we had a half moon. I'm just giving it a name. It's not a correct name, but I'm just showing it to you. We have that same kind of pattern. And then we go in and we create a high consolidation, jumps up, breaks through this for support, and then that support broke down, and now that support became resistance, and then we broke that resistance, and now this line became support, right? So if we fold that up over here on the right side, same thing happened. We have price that broke upwards and then broke this support, turned into resistance, and now we're waiting for the price to come back up and break that, and we can move further up higher. So relatively speaking, we are currently in this area right now. Okay. So in this area is where a lot of the other coins that we have really show their strength. So we're about to see something amazing when compared to Bitcoin and where the price has been. So now you can see that Bitcoin and the altcoin market cap, they flow together. I think that's good for this video, and I'll make another one probably tomorrow that'll go into something called the Bitcoin dominance chart. If I have time, I'll make another one tonight. It just depends how the video sounds with the background noise. You let me know.